Alright, ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft back, bringing you game number 2, Morrow versus Hero. Got a little screwed up there at the beginning because the color is on the different side of the map. But who really cares? I could switch that, but it don't matter. Have a little tequila, going through a little bit of replays here. It's a best of 3 series. We saw a Hero play a really cool game number 1. For protoss people that really want to piss off Terrans, I suggest you watch it. It's a style that I like when I want Terrans to get really mad at me, which is essentially build a lot of oracles and then just bum rush the front. It works so well. Oh man. But we'll see if Morrow is going to do anything weird this game. He played a very standard, straightforward game last game and just managed to win it. So we'll see what he managed to do in this game to change it up a little bit. And I was talking a bit in game number 1 of how much I really look at Liquid Hero's play as of late and being really focused on mind games and trying to do things that people don't really predict. I've seen us play on this map. I've seen him even go one base, blink. Like, I've seen some really crazy stuff out of him. But even against Terran players, they can generally scout fairly easily and then be able to still catch them off guard with builds that nobody really sees coming. It looks like it might be a CC first, which is an interesting aggressive choice. His opponent is going to go down for a gateway and run across the map. So if he goes for a a low ground CC, a Zealot might actually be able to make its way across the map by the time that's, about halfway done, maybe even stop from getting completely finished. Which would really suck for Morrow. So we'll see if there's any opportunity here for Hero to punish this. He's going to scout it pretty much immediately as he comes in, taking one gas behind this as well. And spot, attack, attack. Kind of I was going to say, it's very surprising if he doesn't attack, because that if that command center is going down first, there won't be a barracks or anything else related to punish. There is an SCV coming down to try to deflect that. Looks like he's going to repair that SCV to keep it in motion. Hero's got pretty good control, and this is actually pretty good for Morrow. He's only actually had to pull one SCV in order to deal with this. Sometimes you pull 2 just to make sure that you can attack and repair at the same time. But he pulled very quickly down to do this, and we have the double racks follow-up. It looks like he wants to be a little bit of a bugger still, attack a few SCVs, but just the randomness of them bouncing all over the place just makes it annoying to try to attack them. So this is going to get down pretty much without a hitch, but it was a gateway into expand, so it's not really that far behind here for our protoss player. Little surprised he didn't make a Zealot and run it across the map, but obviously would like to get down that nexus just a little bit faster. Trying to make sure the tequila doesn't get to me here, keep my control in place. I think this probe's so bold, he's just sitting around like, what, do something about it. The probe will get in one more time. Wanted to check if there was a gas, but ultimately should be trying to peace out as the Marines were in construction. Oh, he's not going to make it. Nice little take there by Morrow. That worked out pretty well. Sometimes get a little cocky trying to kill off them their SCVs. The Terran did scout, and seeing that the Nexus was on the way, and actually not too badly timed, he's going to help out. But he doesn't know about the Stargate in effect. We'll see if that comes into play with some more Oracle harass. And oh man, did it work so good in the first game. Lots of mules, lots of Marines. And now we've got our gases going down at about 21, 23 worker supply. Probably just throwing down, I would have to assume, as a supply deal over here. He doesn't have enough gas to be able to throw down anything else too funky yet. So you need to produce a lot of Marines. Wants to make sure that he is in place to deal with any type of Oracle play that is very potential to happen. And we actually have a third barracks going down as well here. So 3 racks. Not going to be the 3cc style of this, which is probably wise. Hero's got some really great pressure builds that if you get just a little bit too greedy, sometimes they'll kick your butt. We have an engineering bay going down, which won't be out in time to put down a missile turret to stop these oracles. But that's what the Marines are supposed to be for. Handful of Marines kicking around. 6 here will be enough to deal with an oracle, but the Ferraris of the Protoss army will be able to outrun those, no problem. Oracle Stalker's just going to bounce around, look for anything to go and poke at. At the same time, the Oracle's going to fly across the map. Only a couple Marines in this mineral line. Now there's a couple more coming down now. So it looks as though Morrow's going to be completely safe against this. Only one Oracle was made thus far. Wanted to save some gas for the mothership core. And now he's getting his +1, so we should be seeing a very gateway and zealot heavy opening, I've got to expect. It's interesting how it seems like you shoot faster with an Oracle if you don't, you know, just sit over top of a unit and attack. Woo. Gets out of there with just a couple of hit points left. That looks really funny to me. I don't know if anybody else finds that really hilarious. It's the new dance. Mothership Core is out, so we're going to be hunky-dory on this side. As I had said, the upgrade going pretty fast there, but it's going to be timed pretty much with the +1 of the Terran, so it'll just essentially negate each other. More gateways going down behind this, so maybe some 2-base gateway pressure. Twilight likely to get Zealot legs to be able to complement this armor that he'll like for Zealots. Maybe moving into Storm. 3 Stalkers at the front. Notice that there is only 1 Marine shooting inside of that bunker. We'll try to get in a few shots, but it will be repaired up before anything else crazy happens. 3 Stalkers is a really good number. Until the stim's finished, they're going to be pretty safe out front here and deny any type of scouting that's coming out or any low ground command centers, which I wouldn't expect. Actually, it's a blink. Very interesting. You'd be going for the armor and the blink at the same time there. It's going to help him a lot with dealing with drops. Stim is not quite finished yet, but it'll be done soon. Medivacs will be a ways off, so he obviously does not want to stim more than he needs to. And a really aggressive third base here out of hero. That's the beauty of having just a few extra stalkers to the front to deny scouts, is sometimes you can just make it seem like you're going to go for an attack. So we see the preemptive pull in the SCVs, a ton of Marines to the front, as though it's going to be some sort of 2-base pressure here. What does Morrow really know at this point? Nice reveal there by hero. Morrow has not really seen anything. He's playing pretty blind. He's not thrown down any scans. He's not thrown out of the command center. Looks like he's pretty worried about some sort of follow-up attack, moving into way more production. And though this is good for hero, that means he's going to fall behind an army supply and army value pretty quick. And this bio army could just roll out here and roll over him, because he's not going to have any really good tech units out. No robo, no splash damage, no storms. He's just going to have to deal with this the old-fashioned gateway style. And a mothership core, photon overcharge will only really protect 1 base. So this could be a pretty damaging push. A couple of medevacs are on the way out. Lots of stalkers and sentries, so he's going to have some great force fields here. If he does, not the best force fields. He actually cost himself 4 just to get about 4 Marines. Medevacs in play now. +1 is finished on both sides, essentially. +1 armor versus +1 attack. We'll see if this has got enough damage to come in here, at least get a few units. Medevac's out in front to scout. Sees an opening. He's going to push down potentially. Nope. This is a disappointing thing about Protoss, is somehow they can play super greedy and still build a kick-ass army. Stim is finished for the turn, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't kind of juke and jive just a little bit here. With he's got the medevac, so do you think he'd be able to do something? Zealot leg speed on the way. We do have the storm, but there's not many zealots in this mix right now. But it's a great way to be able to do the zealots for the minerals and the high templars for the gas, just so that way it balances out the army. Essentially, all the Protoss really wants to do right now is delay until Storm is done. Once Storm done, he's going to feel fantastic. Actually managed to pull away a few units. Almost going to maybe pick those off. Behind this, Morrow is going to be going for his own base. It's a bit of a standoff right now. Economy-wise, Protoss is slightly ahead. Third base is ahead. But now it's more about holding off. And wow. The infamous SCV pull. All the probes are getting yoinked. He's going to do the reveal. I think this is probably smart. He's willing to sack this Nexus, as crappy as that is, and wait till Storm is finished. When Storm is finished, he can do a ton of damage here. So we'll see. I wonder if Morrow just wants to turn around here or not. He's got all these SCVs here. And Storm is finished now. Does he have many High Templars? I'm trying to find one to select in here. I think this is smart for Morrow if he just actually turns around. Gold base is getting thrown down here. Allow the Protoss to try to catch back up again. Happily for him, his economy might be high now, but his tech is at a pretty good spot. 1-1 finish now for both players. Lots and lots of medevacs. There's our High Templars. There's not too many in here. It's only the 3. Leg speed is finished up here. The charge is going. Not great force fields once again. And you see the Terran player is perfectly fine to sit over here and just jump back and forth against these force fields. But he is worried about that storm. Not the best movements there to Hero. Lets a lot of his zealots get ahead of his army. And some bad force fields once again. Not the king of force fields this game, it appears. Storm hits a few things, but ultimately that's not the damage he needs to deal. More zealots coming in, more High Templars. Kind of surprised there hasn't been any drops out of the Terran. Even just one good drop can just throw the Protoss army off so much. There, it looks like he's picking up. I was about to say, his whole army disappeared. And this is why. The Oracle's actually going to spot this as it goes by. I wonder if these High Templars are going to get in range. There's not much energy on these medevacs anyways. High Templar does cast a storm, but this is a pretty big doom drop coming in from the Terran. Protoss army is going to get really just screwed up on his own SimCity here. Got to be very careful about the lift. We're not able to blink in grabbing those medevacs. Supplies are very surprisingly equal. This third base now down quite happily. Storms and a photon overcharge here are actually going to do pretty good. He's going to try to focus down the nexus, and I think he's going to get it. Once again, it's going to be at a cost of a lot of his army, it appears. He's going to take an economic lead, obviously, but he's down 30 supply right now. Does have a base up. Big defenses back in place at home, which I think is really clever. I think he realizes he's pretty far behind, and the approach for the Protoss is going to be to push in now. And I don't think it's going to work well if he tries to do it. He's going to need some 6 storms, this SimCity style, almost Flash-esque, old school style, big SimCity against Protoss aggression. Storms are okay. These medevacs are all beat to hell, but a lot of the Protoss army is getting shredded up here. All the zealots are gone. There's like 1 storm left, I think. He does get a lot of SCVs with it. Only 1 Archon in here, so it's not a lot of damage coming out from this army. A lot of sentries. Well, it does get a ghost with that, at least. Trying to remake a few bunkers here. I don't know if Hero needs to commit to this. I think he could just fall back. He's got a great tech. He's moving into Colossus here. And I think if he just goes up, maybe gets a 4th base and defends against some drops, might be alright. But the beauty of being aggressive is that your Terran opponent really, I was about to say, can't go for drops. Nice from the Protoss player. We'll see if he wants to push in here. He's going to get the Ghost Academy. A little bit clumped up. I mean, there's not enough room in this Warp Prism for everybody. He's going to have to just run out of there. Almost got 1 more on the way. So Hero's got a narrow lead right now in supply. 2-2 is just getting started for the Terran player, and 2-2 is finished for the Protoss. I don't know if Hero's aware of that, but that little bit of a lead might work out well for him. This cannon is pretty funny. I'm sure that's more about trying to pick up ghosts that might be cloaked. Cloak is not finished yet. Nice pickup there. That he spent a lot of energy to kill off those ghosts, but I think it was worth it. Drop still in place here, a handful of Marines. Let's see about the multitasking now of these opponents. Morrow's really committed to defending. 4th base going down for the Protoss. The Terran sees it with the scan. +3 is now on the way for the Protoss player, so really good upgrade leads. I think, oh yeah, I was about to say, I see supply dropping. The split up of the army, it seems like this might be the time. There's not a lot of zealots in this portion of the army though. It could get very shredded. 1 Colossus without thermal lance, not going to help enough. You need some tanking army of these zealots. You're doing some pretty good work in here. Just get a couple of kills, at least screw up the Terran player's micro. Did the Warp Prism go down though? I don't see it in the units tab, so must have big lead in workers right now for the Protoss. He's still making more. I think it'd be worthwhile for him to cut making those here pretty soon. Storm isn't the best storm. It gets a little bit done. Just kind of poking. Thermal Lance is about to finish. There it is. It's pretty nice control here out of Hero so far in this attack. There's another Warp Prism on the way. I was about to say, you might as well get back into doing some of this harass. 6 Ghosts, Vikings, 2 2s just finishing up. So the upgrades right now are exactly the same. There's some pretty good snipes happening on some of these Storm casters. That's my new name for calling High Templars. Leave me alone. Got 1 Storm left. Pretty good. He's going to grab a few different units. There's this... Oh, he is building himself a planetary here. That's a commitment to defense. Ooh, that one Colossus almost got a little salty there. It's a nice grab, actually, to pull off that sensor tower. Pretty good storms. His Terran army's pretty beat up. Can't be making any more medevacs because he's trying to move into Vikings. I think this is pretty close to GG. If he can get this planetary up, he might be able to last just a bit longer. It's up, but it's gonna die too fast. 3 Colossus here, too much, and Morrow GG's out. Really interesting game. There was such an interesting moment earlier on with that SEV pull. If the storm wasn't about to finish, I think we would have been able to see Morrow potentially push in and win. But great, I'd say kind of comeback from Hero there. So he's up 2 games right now. SeKo Starcraft moving on to game number 3.